Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Good morning, Gareth Hall with you. Great to be with you on this Friday, the 4th of July. A big hello to you wherever you may be listening on your local SENTrack dial or the SEN app. And of course, we are streaming now every day on the SEN app, all thanks to Bet365. We're also, of course, streaming with on Facebook and also YouTube. So it's great to have your company. 0499 736 736 to join our conversation. 0499 736 736. Massive show coming your way. Looking forward to catching up with Opie Bosson, the champion New Zealand jockey that retired earlier in the year, but now he is back. He's making a comeback. So Opie will be our first guest to kick off proceedings. It's the start of the biggest 3 weeks in the sport of harness racing tomorrow night at Albion Park. Adam Hamilton will join us as we preview, of course, the Inter-Dominion. It's the sport's holy grail. And it's the start of the Brisbane Carnival, really. I know we had Redcliffe last week, but there's also the running of the Rising Sun worth $300,000, which, of course, is for the 3 and 4-year-olds. So we'll preview that with Adam Hamilton. And then we'll go around the country trying to find you a few winners with our Metro Bag of Tips. Shane Shirley looks at the Sunshine Coast. Mitchy Lewis will look at Rose Hill. Tommy Haylook will look at Flemington. Peter Anthony takes a look at that meeting in Western Australia tomorrow, along with Brad Parnham, who's got some nice rides there at Pinjarra on a Saturday afternoon. Andrew O'Toole continues to look at this Darwin Carnival, of course, up there in the Territory. Looking forward to that. We'll find you some winners today with Bag of Tips. We'll preview, of course, Greyhound's biggest night in Brisbane tomorrow night at the new Q track with Mitchie Abay and Paul Sebastiani. They've got the $1 million, yes, it's a $1 million Greyhound race. It's called the Brisbane Cup, so looking forward to that. Jake will join us from Watsonia. He won the $100 staking plan challenge last week with his place multi. He went all around the country, so we'll have a chat to Jake. And then, of course, the Friday form panel, when we'll talk some trots. That's coming up after 10:30. 0499 736 736 to join our conversation. Of course, Giddy Up brought to you by Bet365 Top Tote Plus. You'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Let's get stuck into the show. And our first guest, of course, is the champion New Zealand rider, Opie Bosson, who yesterday with Tiako Racing announced that he'll be making a comeback to race riding. And the champion Hoop joins us on the line now. Hello to you, Opie. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What's inspired you to come back?
I've always kept my foot in the door a little bit, riding track work for Tiako, and we've got a lot of nice horses there and not a lot of nice young ones coming through, and I got the bug back a bit, you know?
Yeah. So when we talked to you when you retired, you said that you just had enough of wasting and it was getting too hard, and the grind for so many years, it just wore you down. Was it that break that you needed to clear your mind? And I don't know, I guess when you've been riding work, when did you realise that you regained the passion and the drive, and obviously a lot of sacrifice to come back?
Everything was just getting a bit too much for me, and I had a bit going on in my life, and I just needed the time out to get the head right and the body right, and I spoke to the right people and got the help I needed, and I feel really, really good about how I'm going and things, and probably got the bug about a couple of months ago, and went out to Tiako Stud, and I live out there probably 4 times a week and train and work on the farm, and my weight's come down naturally.
Yeah, so when will you be back race riding?
The new season for 1st of August, plan to kick off.
Beautiful. And how is the weight?
Currently I'm about 58.5, and I haven't missed a meal. I've lost probably 9.5 kilos since I've been doing it, so that's coming down really well, and I feel great.
So is that just a situation there that when you're in a better mindset and you're feeling better, then it just helps your weight? Is that been the reason why it's been able to come off easily? Can you identify how you've been able to do that?
Yeah, I think the mind's a big thing, and thinking positive and staying sharp, and I've just been eating the right foods and cut out like bread and off the piss a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's and keeping busy working on the farm has really helped.
So what is the secret? Are you fasting? Is it no carbs? Can you give us some help there, please, Opie?
Pretty much no carbs, eating a lot of fruit, veggies, salad, fish, just clean food really, and you can see the results.
So you'll be basing yourself in New Zealand. Is there any chance that you will come over to Australia, of course, with Tiako based at Cranbourne now?
At this stage, we're just going to concentrate on New Zealand, kicking off, and try and ride everywhere I can, and then we'll see what happens, how I'm going. If I come over to Australia, so we just have to see how we're going with Tiako.
Yeah, and so with Tiako, is there another Imperatrice back there that we don't know about yet that's made you come back?
Well, we haven't got an Imperatrice, but there's a few nice young horses coming through.
Yeah.
There's a colt that I really like called Hostility. He's Group 1 placed. He's still a maidener. He's coming up really nice, and I'm sure he can win a Group 1.
So with Tiako, you did a lot of work behind the scenes. So what actually did you do when you had that little bit of a break?
I rode track work for Tiako.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of time off. Met a lot of new people outside of racing, and made some good friends. So it was a really good time, and I actually got to enjoy summer.
Yeah, and so when you come back, will you be like it'll be full throttle, so you'll jump back into it and ride every day or every possible day?
Yeah, I'm planning to really have a good crack at it this year, this season.
Yeah.
And so if things are going well, I'll ride everywhere I can.
Yeah, beautiful. So that 100 Group 1 shouldn't be far away then, Opie.
Yeah, we've got some nice horses. I'm pretty sure we can get it.
Yeah. Did you ever think now, after doing what you did there, after you finish up riding, wherever that may be these days, because you see Frankie and a few other riders going early on, like into their 50s these days. So you still got another decade probably in you, Opie. Would you ever take up training, or is there anything that inspired you to get into racing outside of race riding?
I'm still quite into the farming side of things.
Yeah.
Like for the last 8 weeks, I've been working on the farm at Tiako, and I really enjoy that side of things. So just want to do another 5 years and make sure everything's secure, and maybe look into the farming side of things.
Yeah. So so you come back race riding in the new year, and then obviously, so you reckon it'll just be 5 years that is that the goal at the moment?
Yeah, let's just see how the body's going. In 5 years, I'll be 50, so I don't know if I want to be riding too much over that.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you back, mate. I think, did you always feel that you would come back in a way, or when you retired last time, did you think that was it?
At the time, I thought it was it. The brain was just mentally fried, and yeah, as I said, I got the help I needed, and yes, everything's looking quite positive.
So what help did you get? Do you go to counselling, or was it someone that you met on the fishing trip that helped you change your perspective on the way that you were heading? Well, what was the turning point there, Opie?
I went and saw a counsellor, and she was a lot of help, and then I've got David Ellis. He's been a big help with everything, and my godfather Stephen Orchard. He's been like my rock that I've had to go to, and they've been so much help.
It sounds like you're in the best place that you've been in for quite a while now, Opie.
Yeah, no, I've finally got the mind sharp and the body right, so everything's looking pretty good.
Now, I've got some mail here, Opie. I don't know if you can confirm or deny this, but we've got some great friends in New Zealand. They tell me David Ellis had a bit of a function there yesterday in the city of New Zealand. Is that right or not?
Yeah, we did. We went to the Warriors bar and had a bit of a luncheon for him for his Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and he's a Hall of Famer, David Ellis. What a career he's had, mate. And obviously he's been so important to you. How would you describe the man?
He's a hard worker. But if you put in the hard work for him, he'll really help you. And I've been working for him since I was 14 years old, so he's like a second dad to me.
What was the conversation with him throughout all this process? Was he Was he a man that wanted you to come back, or did you go to him? How did all that unfold?
No, I went to him, and he said, if you're going to do it, you got to do it properly. And he suggested I go out to the farm and eat properly, train properly, and just do it slowly and naturally.
It's amazing, really, when all the success that you've had in your career, Opie, that you probably hadn't been doing regarding your body, eating properly. And do you think you'll come back a better rider with that type of preparation under your belt?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I was pretty much doing everything the wrong way the last year, so yeah, hopefully I come back better.
Has Leith Ennis put his hand up to manage you?
I actually asked him, and he said no. So I was like, what's going on there?
That's this. They tell me. I can't believe that. They tell me he was best on ground there yesterday in New Zealand.
Yeah, he was going pretty good when I left anyway.
Well, that is exciting, Opie. Who will be your manager then?
So I've decided to have a change. I've got Michael Coleman. He's going to start managing my rides. He was a very good jockey. He rode over 2,000 winners, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. How do you go with your managers? Are you, like, I know a few of the jocks can be pretty hard on the managers. Are you okay with them?
I probably hardly ever speak to them. So I just let them do their job, and if I find a nice one, I'll let them know.
It'd be pretty easy, I think, managing you, and I can't believe Leith Ennis knocked you back anyway. Hey, Opie, I think everyone's happy to see you back, mate. We wish you the best of luck, and it looks like you're in a good place. And as I said before, when you're retired, New Zealand's a better place when you're competing there, and it's great for racing fans, and especially for us Australian punters. We don't have to do the form too much. We just look up at the screen and see who Opie's riding, and then away we go, mate. So we wish you the best of luck, mate. We appreciate you coming on Giddy Up, and good luck in the future.
No, thanks very much. And thank you, everyone, for the positive messages too.
Yep, no problems, mate. Good on you. Thanks for that, Opie. There's Opie Bossum, the champion New Zealand jockey. So that's great news. You just heard him there. He's in a good place, and he's making a comeback. He's doing everything right. His weight doesn't seem to be a problem. He's eating all the right foods. And look out, a hungry and determined Opie will be mighty hard to beat in New Zealand. We'll take a break, and I reckon we'll see a bit of him in Australia as well, with Tiako's representation in Australia these days with their base at Cranbourne. We'll take a break. We'll come back with plenty more next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up, Gareth Hall with you on this beautiful Friday morning. And we are streaming every day, of course, on the SEN app, YouTube, and of course our Facebook on SENtrack, all thanks to Bet365. Adam Hamilton joins us now as we preview, of course, it's the start of harness racing's biggest week, or biggest 3 weeks. It kicks off tomorrow night with the opening heats of the Inter-Dominion, and Adam Hamilton's ready to go now. G'day, mate.
Morning, Gareth. Morning, listeners. Yeah, virtually. I'm in the starting blocks. I'm on the way to the airport to head up to Brisbane, Gareth. Really looking forward to this fascinating night one.
Yeah.
It is a building block, if you like, for the Inter-Dominion, and I can't wait for this rising sun as well. This is an extraordinarily fascinating race. The 3-year-olds get their chance to try and beat the 4-year-olds for the first time in a short but really exciting history of this race, a race won by the likes of Leap to Fame and Amazing Dream and Ladies in Red and last year Whisper a Secret. So, but the X factor this year is obviously the winner, if it's a 4-year-old in the Rising Sun, can get that golden ticket to join the Inter-Dominion party.
We had a chat to Grant Dixon regarding Leap to Fame yesterday, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Just with the Rising Sun, there was a bit of controversy there because there was a couple of Victorians that were entered from our leading stable, Emma Stewart, that were in the field. They did the barrier draw. Now, they do the barrier draw like they do the Cox Plate. So you pick out your horse and then you get to pick your draw. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah, correct. That's right. Yep.
Why were they in the field when they were no chance of starting?
Well, I think no chance is not correct, Gareth.
It's
I think
they were 100 to 1, Adam.
Chance.
100 to 1. You go and talk to the people who run the airlines. I couldn't believe it. If they couldn't have got that flight, then don't put them in the race because it can stuff up that barrier draw. It just didn't make sense. I don't think it's fair on the race or the other participants.
It's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it, when you're doing the barrier draw, which I thoroughly applaud so far out. I mean, the thoroughbreds do them, 2 or 3 days before. We're doing these 5 days before the races. So I think largely it's a positive. But, look, we would love to have had the horses in the races, particularly Bay of Biscay. He was a long-time favourite to win this Rising Sun. He's a Chariots of Fire winner. He's favourite at this stage for the Tab Eureka. So, he's a star player. I understand why Connections didn't want to put him through a big road trip like this when they've got one last crack at a $2.1 million race in 2 months' time. But that's a separate issue. Look, I take on board your point. I don't think there's any correct answer to that. But while there was any remote chance, 100 to 1 or whatever it might have been, I think that far out from the Racing Queensland and Albion Park had an obligation to keep the option open, Gareth.
I think it's just a situation. So the gallopers can get there pretty easily up to Brisbane. I know there's a few people in harness racing went by the road, but I reckon if everyone, like Racing Queensland, can work with the Connections, and this is what frustrates me with the sport of harness racing sometimes, Adam, is that this carnival will be something else. And well done to Racing Queensland and everyone that's put it all together. But harness racing can go like they do in Perth in a way. Let's get a charter flight. There's going to be 10, 15 horses that come from Victoria, and we'll organise a day. We'll get 2 months out or 6 weeks out. We'll call up the airlines, Chris Calthorpe, and we'll go, all right then, Chris, we need a plane for this day. Let us know how much it'll cost. And then surely they can work together to do that. I can't quite understand why the Gallops can do it and the Trots can't.
Well, I can answer that easily. To think it's even apples for apples is silly, Gareth. I mean, look at the prize money. Look what it costs to train a galloper. Owners just spend ludicrous amounts of money on travel with thoroughbreds, and it's justified because the prize money is, 6, 8, 10 times higher. So to spend $10,000 or $12,000 on a flight, put it this way, here's an example for you. Leap to Fame came down for the Victoria Cup, flew down and back 2 years ago. He ran second. They lost money on the trip. How's that viable, Gareth?
How much?
I think.
How many on the flight?
Yeah. No. It's I get that we can have a look at some sort of charter flight, but when you've still got to get the numbers to do that, and you've still got to have people willing to pay really big money to do it. So a return trip from Brisbane is generally around what? I don't think
20,000
you can get it for under 20. Put it that way. So yeah, and how can you justify that? I mean, how can you run second in a Victoria Cup and lose money on the trip, Gareth? I mean, that's obscene. And yes, the thoroughbreds can do it. I think the step.
Well, each to their own. That race is worth 300. I think it's worth $300,000. The prize money up in Queensland's still pretty good.
No, it is, but the Victoria Cup was worth 250,000, and you run second and lose on it. So, I think the next step is to try and look towards that Perth model, isn't it? But then the owners would have an obligation. You're going to have an opt-in, and if you don't go, you may still have to pay your share of making the flight happen. It's not, again, if you compare harness racing in Queensland to, say, thoroughbred racing in Queensland, well, it's not apples for apples as far as the money available. Like, the prize money has already been significantly boosted for this. Harness Racing Australia, I think this is a bit of a hidden story in this as well. They've put in $200,000 towards travel rebates for horses from other states to compete. Maybe what needs to be done is that 200,000 or part of it needs to be put towards guaranteeing a flight, and then you opt in at a subsidised amount to get there. So I know we've spent a lot of time, probably too much time talking about it, but it's an issue that we need to bring up. It's a great challenge for the sport. Oh, absolutely.
So if you own Bay Biscay, would you have gone up
for the next 2 years? Yeah.
If you own Bay Biscay, would you have paid
by road?
No, if you could fly in.
No, there was no option. There was no option to fly, Gareth. There was no flight Tuesday, and any hopes of a flight on Friday evaporated. So there wasn't. It's not a matter of would they have paid.
But people could get it. You could get a flight if you organised it earlier.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's the information I have anyway.
Yeah, but just be careful. Like, we hear varying stories from the airlines. Like, I've asked for clarification as to where today's flight is going definitely, and I just can't get a yes or no. So you got to understand there's a lot of agendas at play here, Gareth. So, and I think for the airlines to put their hands up and say it's everyone's fault, or the people organising the flight saying it's everyone else's fault, that's a cop out. That's just a cop out. So. There's ridiculous travel costs involved. I hope the flight goes next Tuesday. No one's able to tell me whether it is. It's hugely important with 3 of the favourites for the Proto Star involved, and, probably horses that will run in the Derby and Oaks as well. It's one of the great challenges of harness racing. As we know, the poor horses trying to get from Perth, they can get over. They virtually can never get back home, though, Gareth. How many of them have had to go by road, which is obscene to send a horse by road to Perth? I wouldn't drive myself.
Need to buy. Yeah, well, you wouldn't these days. You fly at the top end of the plane. It's not that bad of a trip.
I don't.
Hey, I don't
know about that.
Don't go anywhere. I got to take the news. I'll come back and we'll talk about the Inter Dominion. I knew I'd fire you up on a Friday morning before you went to Queensland.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News this hour. Child safety advocates say there is a lack of enforcement and oversight in the childcare sector. 2 people, one a daycare worker, have been charged with a range of offences related to the abuse of children in Victoria. Qantas says it is still working with specialist cybersecurity experts to forensically analyse its hacked system. Donald Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill has passed US Congress 218 votes to 214, and tributes are flowing for Liverpool player Diogo Jota after he was killed in a car accident in Spain along with his brother. A depleted North Melbourne put up a brave fight against the Bulldogs last night but got blown away in the last quarter to go down 134 to 85. Australia's again struggled with the bat. Alex Carey and Bo Webster saving them from disaster in the second test against the Windies, all out for 286. And Alex de Minaur has rallied from a set down against the French qualifier to get to the third round at Wimbledon.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. We're streaming live on the SEN app, YouTube and also Facebook, all thanks to Bet365. Get your $100 staking plans. Are starting to flow in as we speak, so that's exciting about the weekend. Jason's looking to defend his title after winning last week, but we're talking some harness racing because my favourite race, the Inter-Dominion, kicks off tomorrow night. Hey, just before we have a chat about the Inter-Dominion, Adam Hamilton's with us. Adam, there's a dead set moral in the Rising Sun.
Really?
Yeah, dead set moral. Yeah. And we got a good price early doors. No disrespect to Chantal, but we had Chantal McMullen driving the Janitor there for a little while, but they've changed the drivers. Now Pete's on the Janitor. It will lead and win. The Janitor.
Yeah. He's a lovely horse. He's going to be very hard to beat. I don't think it'll be. So you're thinking Dally Rowe will blast across?
Correct.
Then take the trail on the Janitor. Okay.
Yeah, I reckon.
Dixon is.
I reckon even Major Hot will.
Dixon wants to hold the front.
Yeah, I think he'll get cross talking to some of the experts there and looking at a few of the videos. I think Major Hot will show gate speed. I reckon he'll even go to the front, and then probably he's in his best interest to hand up to the Janitor, and that'll be the race. The Janitor will lead and win, I reckon. The 4-year-olds have clearly got the best record in this race.
Yeah, they have, but Leap to Fame was an unlucky third. He got into a tricky spot and ran home, and then Rock and Roll Hammer did run second. In it, and Rock and Roll Hammer wasn't a star 3-year-old. So I think this 3-year-old crop. My take is the 4-year-old crop this year is good but not great. I think the 3-year-old crop is exceptional, and there's no doubt the best of them, Always Hot, is not there. But I still think the 3-year-olds are going to be super, super competitive in this race. But from a going ahead point of view, the best story would be the Janitor winning, because they would absolutely snap up that ticket into the Inter-Dominion, wouldn't they?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's a good horse, the Janitor. I think he's one of the best 4-year-olds.
He's a serious horse.
And Pete McMullen, he and Chantal are having a wonderful time of it. I think Pete might be a little lucky to be driving in this series after that interference. He got away with a fine there in the lead. I think it was the Hayden. So he'll be a man that'll be determined to make the most of that opportunity he gets now, and he's got some great drives there tomorrow night. Who's your best? Leap to Fame is $1.18. I don't think the Inter-Dominion, the history of this great race, has never been a shorter price favourite than Leap to Fame heading towards the series, is there?
No, that's spot on. I went right back through history to try and find one, and you've got to go back. Well, there's never been one. I think the shortest was El Sue at about $1.70 in 2005.
Yeah.
He still started at $1.55 in the final. So, again, we've said this numerous times, but if he can, as expected, win this, he just ticks another box. Dual Inter Dominion winner.
Yeah.
He'll become the richest. The headline is he'll become the richest harness horse of all time. And I think on every possible measure, Gareth, he deserves to sit at least alongside, if not above, any of the greats that have come before him, given what he's achieved. He's now ticked that box in New Zealand as well, which some of the other great Australians didn't do through their careers. Best bets, he's getting a little bit short now, London to a brick, but gee, I think he'll just work forward and lead and be exceptionally hard to beat. Oscar Bonavena, I thought, was just a shade disappointing last start, but he'll be dangerous. But gee, if London to a brick can lead, he can run pacing sectionals in front. It'd be very, very hard to beat. And I thought the value of the night, I'll be against you, but simply from a value point of view, Fader Waits is just, for him to get a cosy peg run will be a luxury. I like him each way at $12 in the Rising Sun, Gareth.
My best value is a horse that I've nearly got him in the gun today, our great mate Andy Gath. Like, I don't think his team's completely firing at the moment, but geez, Catch a Wave, he's a champion trainer. And I've got a feeling Catch a Wave will win tomorrow night because that's what he does. He'll he'll go to a new place, he'll settle into his new environment, and he'll say, this is something a little bit different, and I'm going to jump out of the ground like I can.
I reckon Andy's hoping that. Has there ever been more of a headache horse who's won $2 million in 8 Group 1 races? I mean, he's going to retire with a champion-like record, but I reckon when he retires, Andy and Kate will take the biggest deep breath ever that the what is at times torment is over with him. So he was awful first up, but they were so happy with him going into it. You're right, the change of scenery. The other thing is, traditionally first up, he can put in a howler.
Yeah.
I think, given he's not racing any of the big guns, $8, $9, you've got to have something on him. It wouldn't surprise you if he came out and went bang, would it?
No, at his best, he'll win that race. He's the best horse from an ability point of view, just whether you can trust him or not. But I reckon you can trust him more when he's at that price in a way than he is when he's a short price favourite. And I saw him in WA. When we've seen him in WA, he's a different horse, I reckon. So when he's been able to travel to Sydney as well, he seems just to go better than he does at Melton. So I reckon at that price, he's worth a punt. But it's going to be a great Inter-Dominion. Always is. I think the trotters are interesting when you've got Prizzy and Artiste and especially RC Phoenix taking on the Kiwis. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. And I like the support races as well.
I love all the support races. Derby's, Oaks, Proto Star next week. The I Keep Smiling, versus some other lovely mares like Steno and maybe Riquero Rebel in the Golden Girl on the last night as well. But just back to you, like the pacing series looks predictable.
Yeah.
Who are you? Give me a top pick and a danger in the trotters.
In the trotters, I'm with RC Phoenix. I just think watching him there trial and then watching him at Melton the other day, I think he's become a horse. You've seen this on a few occasions. Like, you've got horses. I'm the Mighty Quinn and the Pacers. I know Chicago Bull reminded me of this. And there's a few, like Just Believe as a trotter as well. They have that season and a half competing against the best. And then all of a sudden they start to win a couple of the big races and they get that confidence and they become unbeatable. I'm not saying he's in that type of league, RC Phoenix, but I reckon it's his season. So he's the horse to beat clearly for mine. Yeah.
Yeah, danger?
Oscar Bonavena, only because I've seen it on so many occasions, like Mark and Nathan Purden. They might have one bad run in a series like they did the other day, but when it matters most, you tell me a better grand final trainer than them. Than the Purdens and the All-Star team.
You saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
You saw it firsthand in Perth with Smolder and Lazarus, didn't you? And, the single biggest factor here, and no disrespect to Nathan, but Mark Purden is spent of 2 weeks every hour, every day alongside of Oscar Bonavena, one of his all-time favourite horses. So he knows it's the last throw at the stumps with the horse absolutely adores, and he's leaving no stone unturned. So, yeah, it could be another show of magic from the harness horseman we've ever seen in this part of the world.
And Mark Purden's had more comebacks than nearly Opie Boston these days. So he's a part-time harness racing trainer driver these days, Mark Purden. But when he puts his game face on, there's no better. So bring it on, Adam. I'm looking forward to it. That rising sun should be a beauty come Saturday. You enjoy yourself in the Sunshine State. And Max Delight's a good place bet, I reckon, as well. I know he's got a bad draw, but I reckon he's flying at the moment, Maxie, and he'll enjoy the format there of the Inter-Dominion. I'm jealous of you heading up there to Queensland, but have some fun, mate.
Look forward to it. Look forward to seeing you up there for the business end and also chatting as it unfolds. We know one thing that history's taught us about the Inter-Dominion. There will be a twist and turn somewhere.
There will be.
You just know it.
Yeah. Someone's asked me about Major Hod and that rising sun for Jason Grimson. You can't write him off, but Jason's team's not going great guns at the moment, so I think you need to improve big time. But Cameron Hart and Jason Grimson in a big race, you can't completely write them off, and it's at a big price, around $23 each way. Good on you, Adam. Thanks for that, mate.
Thanks, Gareth.
There's Adam Hamilton there. Of course, he'll be doing all of the work there for RaceNet, providing a superb coverage there of the Inter-Dominion. Just having a look at the price that we're getting at the moment in that heat with Bet365 for Catch a Wave, $9 and $3.20. I think that's a great each way play for Catch a Wave. We'll take a break. We'll talk some gallops now with Shane Shirley. We'll preview the Sunshine Coast next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. We're streaming live on the SEN app, of course, also on Facebook and YouTube, all thanks to Bet365. And you can listen to us, as always, on your local SEN track dial or the SEN app. Now, if you like your Quinellas, exactas, trifectas, first fours and quaddies, this Saturday with Bet365, you'll be paid out at the highest national tote for all exotics of Flemington, Rose Hills, Sunshine Coast, Gawler and Pinjarra. That's 45 races because it's never ordinary at Bet365. Selected meetings and eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Let's catch up with our great mate, Shane Churlio. Hello, Shane.
G'day, Gareth.
Sunshine Coast tomorrow. What do you make of this meeting?
Proper end of carnival meeting.
Yeah.
Few that I like, but we've got a marathon today to run first with Rockhampton Newmarket into Toowoomba night meeting into Sunny Coast tomorrow. So it's a marathon, Gareth.
Yes, but we need some winners at the Sunny Coast, if that's okay. Where do we start with your plays?
Sure. Start with race 6. The biggest folk favourite in the history of racing is Mr. Bianco in the race 6, the Winx Guineas. This horse carries the same colours as Winx, owned by the same person that owned Winx. Wouldn't hold a candle to it. It's what price is it at Bet365? Is it around?
It was 320. Yeah. Paul Shaler talked to us yesterday, and he said it's going great, this horse, Mr. Bianco, but he agrees with you that it shouldn't be the price it is because of the draw.
Yeah, and it was hashtag blessed last start at Ipswich on a track that favoured, up and in horses, and he'd had the run of the race.
Yeah.
And just won. It's gross unders. I sort of thought it was a $9 chance from the gate and the map. But anyway, we'll be betting around it. One that I am interested in, Gareth, is the 5, the 300.
$11, $3.40 for the Waterhouse Spot Camp with Bet365.
Yeah, it just didn't get its normal racing pattern last time, and it sort of didn't jump clean and got back a little bit. Sort of could go forward from the wide gate and ridden in the usual Waterhouse Spot manner and jump on the bunny and certainly give him something to catch. Thought it was a bit of a forgive there. It did make a bit of ground late at Ipswich, but it was a long way off him. Go back to that. It was just after that Randwick trial. It was back in April when it ran second to Media World. When it raced. It raced a bit closer to the speed that day, and obviously Media World has kicked on a little bit, winning the Hawkesbury Guineas and running second in the Fred Best. So there's a bit of form around that horse, a little bit stronger than this race. So a repeat of that run at Warwick Farm there, Gareth. I thought it was a good chance and a big price at double figures. And the 13 was another one there, Millie DeLune, who I think is better suited on a wet track and was a bit of an eye catcher the other day when running really strong late sectionals. From the back, very fast late sectionals actually, but they did walk, so sort of entitled to run on a little bit. I think it goes better on the wet. If it stays in that soft 7 range, I'll be happy to have sort of something small on it as well. But there's a host of other chances, but yeah, just sort of betting around the favourite there.
All right, beautiful. Hey, stay with us. I've got to take a break. We'll come back with more of Shane Churlio next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Been waiting the entire season for the bet of the year in Brisbane, and we've got it in the Group 1 Tap Tiara.
What is it? I can't.
How on earth is Grinzinger Bell not winning this race, Gareth?
I've got a couple of good tips around for Grinzinger Bell.
These other,
Unfortunately, Shane, as Booger says, Shane, we've already had the bet of the year. Do we have a bet of the new financial year? Oh, come on, Shane.
We answered the question, Gareth. We answered the question. How on earth does it miss a place? Because the trainer got it wrong.
Yeah.
So, that's how it missed a place.
So that's all right. It's character building. We can't get it right all the time. You did tip 100 to 1 winner in an Oaks.
Yeah. Whatever.
And as I said to you, you can't always be right as long as you're entertaining.
Yeah, whatever.
Now you're sooking up. Unbelievable you are.
No.
You are. You're
let's go over
sooking.
to race 7. What's race 7?
That's the Glass House. Yep. I've got about a minute and 15 seconds before I have to take the news. So go.
Righto. I'm going to have something each way on gumdrops. Huge run last time out. 3 wide, no cover. Went to the line with subsequent Group 1 winner Tashi, and I think the Robbie Heathcote horse ran a place in that race. I think it might have run a place in a bounding Group 1 place, mate. I think it ran a place the other day.
Yeah.
Floozy was the winner of that race. Company to the Dane Ripper I'm talking about. Wide, never shoot the task all the way up the straight. Was a nice eye catcher first up. So obviously going well. Massive price.
$17.
Warney's a little short. I know it didn't get a lot of galloping room at Ipswich. What was left in the tank, I don't know. The Inflictor, a number of horses race on Speedy, I Am Artie, the Inflictor, Mississippi Prince.
Hey, don't go anywhere, Shane. I'll get you some tissues, come back and we'll finish up this preview.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Adam Pont with SEN News. Australia's had a full day of batting on day 1 of the second test against the West Indies in Grenada. It was the middle order again to pile on the runs. Alex Carey top scoring with 63, while Bo Webster reached 60 before he was run out.
He's coming back for 2. This could be trouble. And I think he is in trouble.
Gone.
So he's run himself out here.
Dear.
Good intention from Bo Webster.
That's the call on SEN. So a short time ago, the last wicket fell. Australia all out for 286. Donald Trump's big tax cuts package has reached its final stage. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives has approved the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which the US president will now sign into law. The move comes despite concerns over how much it will cost and its impact on healthcare. Commonwealth Government, meanwhile, has committed to introduce new laws to give police the power to do random spot checks on daycare centres. A centre will be also stripped of its funding if it fails to meet standards. The legislation to be brought in when federal parliament returns later this month. Thousands have gathered in solidarity at Anfield following the death of Liverpool star Diogo Jota, the 28-year-old forward, and his brother were killed in a car crash when their tyre blew out, forcing the vehicle off the road when it burst into flames. And one of Quentin Tarantino's favourite bad guys, actor Michael Madsen, has died from cardiac arrest, aged 67. SEN.com.au Sport is coming up next. It was a stirring pre-game address by Dennis Pagan, but it wasn't enough to get North over the line in their centenary match. They were depleted through injury, eventually going down by 49 points. Middle order has saved Australia on the opening day of the second test against the Windies. Bo Webster 60, Alex Carey 63. We were all out this morning for 286. SEN Weather's next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back to Giddy Up. Gareth Hall with you on this Friday morning. We are streaming live, of course, on the SEN app, YouTube and Facebook, and you can listen to us on SENTrack, your local SENTrack dial and the SEN app. A few text messages coming through. Why isn't Shane on camera? We'd love to see him. That's a good point. I don't know why you weren't on camera today, Shane. Such a good-looking man.
Sure, Gareth. Stop making stuff up.
What? We wanted to see your face.
You don't want to see my face in a minute.
What about? So you're taking on, you like gumdrops in the glass house. What else do you like?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I thought it was a really good run last time in a race that's produced a Group 1 winner and I don't know. Was it a Group 1? It was a Group 1 by status. I know it was
Correct.
a Group 1 by quality.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was a really good run in a strong race. And, I concede Warnie's a chance. I think the race will set up okay for him to be able to get back and run on as well. But, I just thought Gumdrops was too good a run last start to ignore at the price. I mean, there's a host of hopes.
Yes.
Far too easy. Good chance as well. But, price is important, Gareth, and that's why I'm with the 9 each way.
Anything else that we should be backing there on the Sunshine Coast?
No, not really. I've only sort of done the features. I've had a look at the Cup. I'm trying to work out if there's any other winning chance outside of Bear on the Loose, who you expect will be right on speed, and Don Diego de Vega, who did sort of lose at spot a pair or two last time when it raced against Bear on the Loose and did close on it late. So I think it's a chance to turn the table. So I think one of those two will win. But that's all I've done on the meeting. As I said, there's Rocky Cup today or Newmarket today and Toowoomba tonight. Sort of. So surely Shane, my attention away.
This one of our listeners. Surely Shane can get us a winner today at Rocky or Toowoomba, or is that too much to ask?
Can he ever?
There was some more enthusiasm in your voice.
Yep. No more bets of the year. Just quickly while I'm just flipping over to Toowoomba, you know how there's outrage against, and I'm dead against it. People getting on social media and inboxing AFL players when they miss a possession, right? I had a very prominent AFL player inbox me Instagram, having a go at me for tipping green zinger bell and missing a play.
So they should.
Now that's got to stop. I'm calling that behaviour.
Oh boy.
But I won't name names just yet. But if this player doesn't get a kick, if this player doesn't get enough possessions for me on Saturday night at the Gabba, I'll be getting in his.
Yeah, folks, I'm enjoying this so much because Shane's the hardest taskmaster. He rings me all the time and says, Gareth, your content's crap. I don't know why you said this, blah, blah, blah. And it's made my day that he's been able to have one bad moment, really, at the end of the day. Got 100,000 views, that bet of the year.
Yeah, no, I did. Don't worry about it.
Oh, God help us.
O'Brien. Right, Danny.
It was the first horse beaten, Shane.
It was born at the 800, Gareth.
Timmy Clark went for the Persuader at the 1,000-metre mark. The best bet of the century. I thought, oh, no. What are we going to do?
I knew we were in trouble when they had to drag it around the parade ring to get it to walk.
I can't believe you only got one message in your inbox.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, you can redeem yourself at Toowoomba today.
We don't deserve the victory.
Anyway, it's all fun, folks. It's all fun.
Of course it is. I'm only joking. My best value play comes up in the first at Toowoomba, Gareth. Can you just bring up Bet365 prices here for number 5, Hasana? Race 1, number 5, Hasana.
Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. Today, where are we going?
Toowoomba.
Toowoomba, yes.
Race 1.
Race 1. And we've got Hasana's at $19.
Yeah, just in my own defence here, Gareth, we did tip one at value at Gatton last Saturday that ran third at $6 a place, and the best bet won. So I might have to stick to the provincials. Hasana does get an important gear change and gets up in trip which is also important for this horse. It's been sort of caught wide trying to get on speed over shorter trips, and it hasn't suited. It gets blinkers first time, and I think it gets the front today. I thought it was complete forgive the other day from barrier 16 and caught wide, and the start before also didn't have a lot of luck and was wide the trip in inferior ground and never shirked the task there either. Blinkers, leads, D-Day, there's some ability there. I think it's a great each way play, Gareth.
Beautiful. Anything else?
Yeah, there's one at Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, why not go I think Natural Will is riding at Rockhampton today, Gareth.
He'd love it. He'd love Rocky.
Oh. I'm not sure what price Bet365 have these horses, but in the Rockhampton Newmarket,
yes,
I thought race 6, number 1, Bankmore was a big price, Gareth, at $7.
$7.
I'm not sure what price Bet365.
$7.265 each way with Nash aboard for the Lemmings.
Each way, Bankmore, I think at that price is a safe play. I sort of thought the money would have come for it by now, but obviously it's been racing in harder grade. It gets Nash. It's got a few ticks there. I think it's got a long way out of its ground the other day in the eyeliner. From a wide gate, I don't think Nash stuffs around today. I think he bangs his horse right on speed, and I think it's going to be hard to get past. But if it doesn't win, which it's some chance they don't, when I tip them, race 7, number 6, Dream Smart will win. Okay. Just needs a steer.
Beautiful. Race 7, number 6, Dream Start for Justin Stanley at $2.50.
Yeah, lovely.
Hey, thoroughly enjoy your work, Shane. You have a great day today. We appreciate you coming on.
I look forward to catching up tomorrow, Gareth. All positives, rainbows, sunshine and lollipops.
Yep. Have a great day.
Good on you.
Good luck. There's Shane Churlio there. Now, Mitchie Lewis is about to join us. He's ready to go. He's done the form for us for Rose Hill today. He's a man that's got many talents, but we'll concentrate on his tips at Rose Hill on this Friday. Hello to you, mate. G'day, Mitchie.
Morning, G. Yeah, and I'm in the car here. I've got a doctor's appointment. Timing's perfect. But I just had a thought. The way I've propped this up, I reckon a few are going to think I'm a speed camera here. So if somebody comes and assaults me, at least you'll be able to have
in Mount Gambier. They have speed cameras in Mount Gambier.
Yeah, come on, Gareth.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to rack a few up here myself. Pretend get the trigger gun out.
Yes, Mitchie. Yes, you should. I don't recommend that, by the way.
No. But Rose Hill.
Yeah.
Look, I do. We chip out. I don't touch on it in the weekend preview, but it's a good little platform here to give you what I think, because there's a couple that I'm pretty keen on this heavy track as we're expecting, improving heavy, we should say.
Yeah. Who do you like?
Race 6, pretty keen with the top weight High Dubai. This horse I thought gets the right map. It's going to be up on speed. Ticks along very nicely. Key here for me, first 2 runs, 1,000 metres up to the 1,100 now. It's won 3 out of 5 1,100s. Never missed the top 3 from 3 starts on the heavy either. So conditions to suit High Dubai. Gets to tick along out in front. Third up, peaking, I'm thinking here, G.
Beautiful. What else have you got for us?
And the other one I like in the last, similar sort of story here, Kerguelen.
Yes.
Horse does its best work on the heavy. 5 starts on the heavy track, 3 wins, 2 seconds. Third up here, hasn't seen the 1,400 metres before, but the last 600 last start was above average. So you would suggest third up now, ready to peak. The 1,400 metres shouldn't be an issue off that last start.
Beautiful, mate. They're the only 2 plays there at Rose Hill.
Yeah, look, I mean, short enough now. I actually like one in the highway. The other week I thought horse number 6, Exit Free, hit the line nicely. So maybe with some smart shopping we can find $3. They're always tricky races with full fields, but he looked ready to go sort of second up. And then, I think I heard you touch on G yesterday, Wellwall.
Correct.
In the feature race there, the listed winter stakes. Look, I found that a very open race, but the 2 that I found, one of them was Wellwall, and the other one I thought was a chance was Green Fly.
Yeah.
So they're both floating around that similar sort of $850 mark. So you're probably not doing a bad job backing both of those, given their prices, I don't think.
And Mitchy, don't forget our Bet365 SENTrack Bet Boost Top 4 multi. It's already firmed into 687, so it's been boosted from 490 to 687. Marble 9 race 3 at Flemington, which is your choice. Tarpaulin, which is Dino's choice, race 5. Mickey Gadden says Wall. If it wins, it's Mickey Gadden's choice. If it loses, it's my choice. And half yours is Chris Nelson's choice, which, of course, goes around the Caloundra Cup, which is race 8 there on the Sunshine Coast. So about 500 punters have already been on that bet boost there with the Giddy Up Weekend Preview team. So I would jump on now because it'll be a lot shorter come tomorrow.
Yeah, well, from experience, G, I went back to last week. So
Yes.
I sort of forgot about it on the Thursday. I did it Saturday morning, and it was something like 11s into 750. So that might have had some deductions to do with it, but even still, it's a big whack for the boost price.
Yeah, 100%. Mitchy, have you got any winners quickly at Flemington tomorrow?
Flemington tomorrow. Look, Bacula in race 2 is going to be tough to beat. It's quite short, though. I thought Marble 9, a little bit more value with some race fitness. And each way of the day, race 4, number 10, Dark Boney, hit the line really good last start. I'm expecting with a cleaner run this time. Good double figure play there.
And I think at Gawler?
Gawler, race 8, number 4, signed from above. I reckon 2 weeks ago we made this one to follow. Second up now off a wide run. Draws much better here today. And then race 9, number 7, Miss Codaletta, the Victorian visitor. Really good race map, up on speed, settles close to the pace. I think it's going to be a little bit waterbogged, that track. So fingers crossed maybe they get close to the heavy because she's 2 from 2 on the heavy. So I think she gets the right setup. Good
luck at the doctor, Mitchy. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, mate. You have a good day. I'll chat to you tomorrow.
Good on you, mate. There's Mitchy Lewis there. It is 15 minutes past 9. This is Getting Up with Gareth Hall, thanks to Bet365 now. The Mega Boost. We don't know who Zach Tunbridge and the traders are there thinking about regarding the Mega Boost. Now, but the Mega Boost horses will be available after 10 a.m, which is tomorrow, of course, on a Saturday, because it's never ordinary at Bet365. Subject to availability, eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Talking to Zach yesterday, I'm thinking they might go down the path of Nobelis, which would be tough to beat in the 4th at Flemington. And I reckon they're also going to take on She's an Artist. We might get $2.50 She's an Artist if we're lucky. She's $1.65 at the moment there with Bet365. 16 minutes past 9, we'll come back. Tommy Haylock will have a look at this card at Flemington for us.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Giddy up with Gareth Hall. We're streaming live on the SEN app, also on YouTube and Facebook, all thanks to Bet365. And in the first race at Flemington on Saturday, if your first bet doesn't win, you received bet credits equal to your stake up to $30. That's because it's never ordinary at Bet365, subject to availability, eligible customers only, terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Tommy Haylock makes he's been on Giddy Up a couple of times, but he joins us once again. G'day, Tommy boy.
Great to be with you, mates. How are you?
I'm very well. Clippers and tippers, thanks to Tyre Power. That'll be dropping today. Tommy Haylock was superb. So looking forward to seeing that episode, mate. You had a ripper story to tell about how you went on a first date with a new girl and you had your quaddie that was going for a lot of money. And you spent whatever you did, it was $30 odd. I don't want to give the story away. It was an Ascot or Belmont quaddie. Anyway, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
How good's my haircut?
Yeah, it looks good, actually. Gives a look, yeah, very good. And you've trimmed up the beard. Was your beautiful partner, Bree, happy with it?
She was, yes. Yeah, there's a bit of product in there which she didn't love, but that's all right. We wash it out and we're good.
Okay. Oh, Maury won't be happy if you're criticising his product. Some big news breaking in the sport of racing today. Not really big news, but it's good news. Racing Victoria has released a statement saying Racing Victoria and the Foxtel Group are delighted to announce a new multi-year broadcast partnership which will see Racing.com continue to be showcased across Foxtel Group's subscription platforms, including Foxtel and KO Sports. Racing.com remains the only racing channel currently available to KO Sports subscribers, with opportunities to explore expanded content on the platform in the future. So that is terrific. Aaron Morrison's quoted saying, "The breadth of coverage of Victorian racing and that of our local and global partners will be expanded further thanks to the extension of our agreement with Foxtel Group to showcase Racing.com." So there you go. That's good news for the Victorian racing industry, Tom.
It is, yeah. I remember switching over to Foxtel, my service, and didn't have Racing.com for a few months. So that is good. It's back there and it's staying, which is nice.
Flemington tomorrow. How do you expect this track will play? We might get to a soft 5, I reckon.
Yeah, it doesn't drain as well as it used to, Gareth.
Yes.
10 years ago would be probably on a good track, but pretty cold. There's the slight chance of some precipitation on Saturday itself. So I've got it as 6, and I think it'll stay there. It'll be a genuine wet winter slow track, I think.
Miles Fitzner, of course, he came walking into the studios yesterday, in true Miles fashion. He goes, "Mate, I've got something I need to apologise to you." I said, "What, Miles?" He goes, "Mate, I'm taking on your horse." I go, "I'm laying it." I said, "Oh, there you go." I said, "That's broken my heart, Milo, but he's such a good man, he apologised." I said, "That's your job." But because I know why, and you're taking it on as well, no Bellis, in race 4.
Yeah, that might make you more confident than Miles and I are both laying it.
No, very good judges. Very good judges. I'm not even turning up now.
I'm not taking it. I obviously can win. It's a short price favourite. I just think I'm price sensitive, and I just think she's slightly too short, to be honest.
Yes.
She's obviously coming in fantastic form. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's ticks a few boxes, Gareth. She leads, controls, and has a turn of foot. So she does tick a lot of boxes, but I just thought she opened a little bit too short. She's drifting out slightly now, but just off the 2 last start wins, very, very slow tempos out in front. She had every possible chance. May get some more pressure on Saturday, and just at the price, I went looking around her. I've ended up siding with the top one, Calcallo.
I don't know if it'll start, Calcallis. I don't know if it'll start.
Well, there you go. If it doesn't start, you'll be shorter again, because the money has come for Calcallo as well. So
okay,
that's very interesting. But I've lent that way. Dark Bonnie was the horse through the 1620 Flemington lead up that had the flashing light on through the middle. I'm not convinced Winning Toast stays 1620, 1600 metres, so on a wet track. So Dark Bonnie might be the one through the lead up, but you've got to be a huge chance there with Noblez or Nobellis.
Yep. So Nobellis is 240, Calcalo 550, then Everrain at 7 from a distance at 750, Dark Bonnet at $11. I know Mitchy Lewis was keen each way on that galloper as well. What else have you got for us, Tommy Boy, there at Flemington?
You want some value, Gareth?
Yes, we love value here.
Oh, good. Well, we've got a big one, big odds, this horse. Lightly raced gelding from France in race 5. Number 6, Go Waterhouse, Adrian Bott.
Yes.
Ran last up, being close to 10 lengths. Big tick for mine. Barrier Trial, 1,800 metres, straight to this distance of 2,600. Waterhouse stable up in trip. This horse, it's a throw at the stumps, yes, but completely different race here. So you're going from 1,800 metres onto a genuine wet track up to 2,600 metres. Waterhouse Bott up in distance is a big tick. This horse has gone around in Group 3s. I know small fields, but only beaten 2 lengths in Group 3s in France over 3,000 metres on soft tracks. Stays all day. Won a listed race by 2.5 lengths over 2,400 metres. If they've got this horse anywhere near right, and first up was a barrier trial, this can run a huge race from Marquand at about $40 or $35.
$31
so,
we're getting, $6.50. It's firmed in as you've been talking. There we go, 34 into 31. Shamakant.
Could run last, Gareth. Could run last. Might not turn up, but in a race that 6 of the 12 come through a lead up that I don't like, I'm happy to look away from that. And just good value.
Great multi tomorrow. Bucklew into She's an Artist. Yeah. Like not often you get two complete morals, but they're two complete. Like they're like Gloucester Park type of harness bets, drawing the pole with gate speed type of. That like you don't get to see them much on a Gallops card, but you can double up and it can be easy bet. You don't have to worry too much.
I look forward to seeing She's an Artist. She's obviously done nothing wrong. She's been superb. She's run fast times. I went looking to get her beaten at first look at this race because she's 1,100 to 1,200 on a wet track for the first time, but there's nothing in the race really.
No.
So she turns up, she handles the wet. I think she wins.
Hey, love your work, mate. We just had some fun with your old mate Shane Shirley. His bet of the century was gone at the 1,000-metre mark, so we had to make sure that he was accountable for that effort. So we might
give him a buzz to make sure he's okay.
We might put that on social media as well, just to put a smile on his face. Good on you, Tommy. Thanks for that. We appreciate your love as always.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you. All the best.
There's Tommy Haylock there. It's quickly approaching 9:30. Get in your staking plans, $100 staking plans. I'll read them out after the break. 0499 736 736.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News this hour. Donald Trump's big tax cuts package has reached its final stage. The Republican-controlled House of Representatives has approved the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, which the US President will now sign into law. The Victorian state opposition has slammed the government's appointment to head up the inquiry into Victoria's childcare sector, calling it an insult to families. The Commonwealth Government, meanwhile, has committed to introduce new laws giving police the power to do random spot checks on daycare centres. And thousands have gathered in solidarity at Anfield following the death of Liverpool star Diogo Jota. SEN.com.au sport coming up next. It was a stirring pre-game address by Dennis Pagan, but it wasn't enough to get North over the line in their centenary match. They were depleted through injury, eventually going down by 49 points. Middle order has saved Australia on the opening day of the second test against the Windies. Bo Webster 60, Alex Carey 63. We were all out this morning for 286. SEN Weather's next.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall. The Western Whip Around. Tune in to Racing WA TV on 7+, your ultimate destination for everything racing in the West.
Time to find you a few winners there in WA on a Saturday afternoon. And once again, we are at Pinjarra Park for the Saturday meeting. The feature race there is the Bovine Stakes down the straight over the 1,000 metres. Peter Anthonys has been in wonderful form for us and he joins us now. G'day, Pete.
Yeah, g'day, Gareth.
What do you like in the feature? Repossession looks tough to beat. Brad Parnham's about to join us shortly.
Look, it's fantastic to see black type racing down the straight at Pinjarra, Gareth. I've been calling for it for the best part of 10 years.
I knew you'd be so happy, Pete. This has made your day.
It really is. That's how much I've got going on at the moment. I can't wait to see a black type race down the straight. Geez, it's a hard race. Look, Repossession's clearly like just in the best form, but it is a 3-year-old form versus, I guess, the black type sprinting ranks of WA. Not the A class, but there's a lot of consistent gallopers here. But just the map just looks really difficult to work out. There's a lot of speed. The Pinjarra Straight can often favour that outside fence, and Repossession from 6 is probably not going to get near there. So it's a difficult race to jump into and take the $2.30 on the favourite. So I'm going to have a small bet on Premium Choice at around $19 or so. Has done well down the straight previously. Gate 12 looks good. No trial. I'm just there's something just inkling about that horse. The best of that horse's figures would go pretty close here at a good price. So something small there. No knock the favourite, but it's a difficult race for me to jump into at that price. So
I think Tony
7, number 9.
Tony Triscari's got the best strike rate out of any metro trainer in the country, I think. Last time we were talking, he does.
And he goes very well down the straight as well. He and David Harrison are probably the 2 best trainers, so they've worked together in the past. But I think both of them over the last sort of 10 years or so, I don't think you'd find a trainer or a set of trainers with better strike rate there at the Pinjarra Straight.
Anything else for us, mate?
Yeah, look, the best comes up in the last. Drying surface I'm expecting there at Pinjarra, so it may very well play on pace, but look, race 8, number 11, Timeless Gem for SJ Miller. Like the trial without the winkers on, quiet enough in fast time, has won first up previously. The form last prep looks good, figures looks good. Don't think there's too much speed in this race, although Masterland Rapid Rock might actually cross that horse early. But look, if the track is playing more towards on pace or inside, I'll be even more confident. So race 8, number 11, Timeless Gen, I think $4 plus is a very nice price.
Beautiful, mate. Keep on dominating. Enjoy that straight race there tomorrow at Pinjarra Park, the Bovine.
Can't wait, Gareth. I'll be there with bells on.
See you, mate. Good to catch up with Peter Anthonys there. 35 minutes past 9. I think we'll take a break and Brad Parnham. Oh, he's ready to go, the great man. Hello to you, Bradley. Welcome to Giddy Up.
Yeah, hello, Gareth. How are you?
How have you been?
Oh, yeah, pretty good, mate.
Yeah.
Chipping along.
Geez, you're riding well. I keep on telling people if I had someone to ride for my life, Bradley, and they're out in front, you're the man I want. They don't get past you these days.
That doesn't happen all the time, but yeah, look, I've been enjoying a pretty good run for the last few months now. So yeah, it's been good.
Can you win the big one tomorrow, the Bovine? Obviously, Pete says you got the best horse, Pete Anthonys, but that barrier with the speed map, is it a little bit tricky? Where do you think you'll get to in the run?
Yeah, look, it probably is a little bit tricky, but I mean, I'll probably try not to let that worry me too much. I do think he probably is the horse with the most potential in the race.
Yeah.
He's only a 3-year-old and he's shown us quite a bit to date. So, yeah, look, he shows pace himself, but this is obviously a race that's going to have a fair bit of pace in it. So, look, I'm just probably just going to try and keep him under wraps and just keep him held together early. And, yeah, I'll let him show his best work late. And, yeah, hopefully he should be good enough, I reckon. And, yeah, if things go my way, it'd be nice for him to take this race out.
So we see it a little bit at Flemington when the rail is out anyway, that the wider the barriers, the better down the straight. What's the situation there at Pinjarra Park? Is it the wider the better there as well?
It has been for quite some time, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the way the layout of the track, I think because of the camber that they have, it seems to stay a little bit firmer out wider there. So, yeah, obviously, the wider you draw, you got a little bit more of an advantage. But, yeah, my horse he probably might be good enough to overcome that anyway.
And the Genjemis believe he's the real deal as well. They've had many a good horse in their day, so they think that he can measure up in hopefully some of the bigger races later on in the year.
Yeah, well, that'd be the plan. He's shown us quite a bit, and he's in his short career so far. So he has given me a really good feel. So yeah, I think he's a horse who could go on with it.
The great SJ Miller, you're his stable rider. Is he giving you any type of confidence with Timeless Gem in race 8?
Well, I trialled him the other day, and he trialled really good. And he hasn't really. SJ hasn't really said much to me since then about him, but yeah, I'll go into this race pretty confident that he'll run a really solid race. Yeah, like I say, I was really happy with his trial, and his first up run last prep was really good too. So I think he should be right there. I've drawn one, so I should be getting a pretty good run, and if things work out for me, he'll be pretty hard to beat too.
So do you box seat there, or what do you do from gate 1?
I'd probably like to. You know, I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't had a great look at the speed maps yet to see how quick the race will be run. But yeah, I think if it's not breakneck speed, probably holding up in the box seat would probably be the most likely spot for me to end up. And yeah, we just get a little bit of luck getting a run at the top of the straight, and he should be hard to beat if he does.
Grant Alana Williams got Royal Toronado in race 6. He's 4th up, but he looks like he's starting to find some of his best form now.
Yeah, his run the other day was pretty good. So not a horse I've had anything to do with in the past, but yeah, looking at the horse's form and obviously for Grant and Alana, they're obviously great trainers here, one of the best here. So yeah, go into this race with a little bit of confidence, drawn a bit sticky, but yeah, hopefully we can get a nice enough run.
As your Hall of Fame and legendary father, Nifty Parnham, got tactics ready to 5 first up in race 5?
I don't know if he's ready to win first up. He's a nice horse, but he's a little bit on the lazy side, this fella. So
okay.
He's had a couple of trials, but he may even need a run or two to get him fully fit. But yeah, he might be one of those horses who just needs a bit of race fitness on his side.
Geez, I like this son of a Stern. I reckon the Sterns get better as 3-year-olds as well, but this one's for the Caseys. First up from a bit of a break. Goes around in that opening race. What can you tell us about this 2-year-old?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on this horse. He showed me a bit in his first prep, and his form was around some pretty handy horses too. So, yeah, I had a couple of rides in this race, but I was really impressed with his trial. And like I said, last prep he gave me a great feel. He's a nice, big, strong-looking horse. So I think if he puts his best foot forward here and I get the right type of run, he's going to be finishing off pretty strong.
I know Wolfie's got a big opinion of his Ole Kirk and Fiery Spark. So where do you think you'll get to in the run there from that gate?
I think from the gate, I'm probably going to be around midfield or worse. You know, I haven't spoken to Casey's about how they want me to ride him, but he seemed to settle pretty well in the trial, and he finished off really strong ridden that way. So I'll probably ride him similar and just try and find a bit of cover and something that can drag me into the race. And yeah, I expect him to be hitting the line pretty strong, and he's probably gives me the feel that he's the type of horse to look out for going forward.
What's your best chance for the day, mate?
I've got some good rides that we touched on. But yeah, look, I'd like to think that probably repossession. He's a really nice horse on the way up. So, I'd like to think he could be my best ride tomorrow.
As Nifty got you out working nice and early with Stevie, I've been watching Stevie, your brother, on social media. He's just living the dream, isn't he? Overseas in Europe, he's staying at every flash joint in the Riviera, in France, everywhere.
Yeah, he's living it up at the moment.
Yeah,
he
is.
likes a social media post. He's letting us all know about it.
Yeah.
But it's good to see him have a good time. But nothing's changed for me, mate. I'm still just doing what I do here.
Yeah.
I don't overly tax myself the track,
No.
but I go there every now and then and do what I got to do.
Well, you're riding in career best form. If you ask me, I reckon you've had a great season. Chris or Pikey, who wins the premiership?
Well, obviously I've got a bias
Chris.
towards Chris. He's just come back. He's just come back from his injury, and he's been riding probably a couple of weeks now. So I'm hoping he can get back into his best form this month. There's still a month to go. Pikey's just got his nose in front, so it's not going to be easy for Chris, but he's definitely got the talent to do it, and it hopefully should shape up for a good last month between the two. It'd be nice to see him both ride a lot of winners, and but I mean, hopefully I'm going to put Chris ahead because it's been a little biased. So hopefully he can do it.
I'm backing you in next year, all right? So when the market's framed, I reckon it's your year to be up the top. And the other aspect to all of this, Brad, I'll paint this picture for you. So if it's the last day, all right, and Pikey and Chris are head to head, and you've got 2 odds-on favourites, do you give Chris those rides and say you can have those rides for today?
Well, it wouldn't be up to me, but I'd be happy to let him have them. But it's up to the connections, really, whether that's what they want to do.
Oh, I love it.
But I would be nice and happy to let him have them, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good anyway. Chris here, Pikey's won enough. It'd be great to see Chris Parnham win that premiership. Hey, mate, always fun catching up with you, as I said. And I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. I think you're riding the lights out, mate. So you've had a great season, and hopefully it can be another big day for you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. It's nice to chat to you.
Yep, go and get him, mate. There's Brad Parnham there. We'll take a break. It's 9:44. This is Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. All thanks to Bet365 on this Friday morning.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Welcome back, Gareth Hall with you. Great to have your company on this Friday morning. All thanks to Bet365. We're at Fanny Bay there on a Saturday afternoon as the carnival rolls on. The feature race there is the Darwin Guineas over the mile. And Andrew O'Toole, thanks to NT Racing. Of course, NT Thoroughbred Racing, the best show on sand in the top end this Saturday. Andrew O'Toole joins us now. G'day, mate.
Morning, Gareth.
Looking forward to this program. The highlight, of course, the Darwin Guineas.
Yeah, absolutely. Day one of the carnival, obviously been a steady build-up. Big day last week was Rowan Cup Day, well, the two Rowan Cups, of course, saw Cinque Torre do the job again and break the track record, which had stood for 15 years. And another stellar day in store for us tomorrow, mate, with another 9 races. And as you say, the last of those at 7 minutes past 5 NT time, the Deco Darwin Guinea 75,000 up for grabs.
So where do we start with your plays, mate?
We're starting the first. I think we can get off on the right foot here with number 5, Storm Front. We were keen on this horse when it had its first start in Darwin over 1,300 a fortnight ago. Got back in the running, didn't get all favours, ran home well and beaten half a length by Galaxy General. Peter Roble, who trains the horse, was keen to get it up to a mile. That's what he's done. Drawn the inside gate, only a 6-horse field. Hopefully no traffic problems for Jade Hampson this time. Race 1, number 5, Storm Front for me. We go to the 5th, Gareth, the Fillies and Mares race. This will lead up to the Rose Bowl on Ladies' Day in a couple of Wednesdays' time. The horse that won the Rose Bowl last year, I think, will take plenty of beating here. Number 4, Lucky Fortuna, trained by Heather Lehman at Strathalbyn. Her and her husband Graham, great supporters of this carnival every year. Jared Todd, he takes them out here on Lucky Fortuna. She's just had the one start in Darwin this campaign and was 4th. Beaten 3.5 lengths by Villa 79. That was a month ago. She'll be improved by that, and this should top her off nicely for the Rose Bowl, but I expect a huge run out of her. Race 5, number 4. And in the Guineas, Gareth, good field, few chances for sure, but I like number 7, the Men Win Home. He won the Alice Guineas for Kerry Petrick and Paul Denton. His run here the other day, a fortnight ago, behind Bruno. Bruno was really good, covered a lot of ground that day. He won't cover much ground this time. He's drawn barrier 1. Talking to Dash Denton the other night, he's very keen on the horse's chances, and obviously the 1,600 metres right up his alley. So in the feature, keen on number 7, the Men Win Home, race 9.
Beautiful, mate. I'm looking forward to this carnival. It's exciting. I think Johnny O'Neill was on the means test on Monday. He can't wait to get up to Darwin again. So, bring it on, mate.
Absolutely. No, the ticket sale's really good, as they tell me, Gareth. So, looking forward to a big month of racing.
Beautiful. Thanks for that, mate. We appreciate it.
Good. Thanks, Gareth. Cheers.
Great to catch up with Andrew O'Toole there. Thanks to NT Thoroughbred Racing. Of course, the best show on sand in the top end this Saturday. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap up this hour here on Giddy Up on this Friday.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
It's now time for Bag of Tips. We might go through a few of the Gallup's Bag of Tips right now.
The Giddy Up Bag of Tips for Oz Equipment Rentals. Supplying equipment to the construction, mining and roadworks industries. OzEquipment.com.
So bag of tips for the Ultima Hotel in the heart of the Mallee. Oz Equipment Rentals. Look them up at OzEquipment.com. And with Bet365 Top Tote Plus, you'll get the best payout across all 3 national totes. Imagine what you could be buying instead for free and confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Luke Ovanessian at Tamworth likes race 3, number 9, Hell B. And race 4, number 2, Lewis Burr. And race 8, number 3, Who Goes There? And at Canberra, race 6, number 1, Unreal Expectation. And race 7, number 6, Crispus Star. At Ballarat on the synthetic, race 2, number 3, Brave Carol can be our Bet365 boost horse. Race 2, number 3, and race 8, number 9, Sonte. Shane Churlio at Rockhampton, he likes in the Newmarket, race 6, number 1, Bankmore. And he's keen on race 7, number 6, Dream Start. And in the trots, you can head to the trots.com.au for expert harness racing tips and in-depth analysis for all major Victorian meetings. Race 4, number 7, Imperial Command. And race 8, number 8, Faye Full. The tips there from Darren Carroll.
Powered by Signet. Good morning, I'm Adam Pont with SEN News. Bo Webster and Alex Carey have stood up with the bat as Australia was dismissed for 286 at stumps on day 1 of the second test against the Windies. The Aussies fell to 4 for 93 at lunch before Webster's 60 and Carey's 63. He's told SEN he was happy to have an impact.
To form a partnership and get us over 200, and then the tail played really well as well. So I think there's probably opportunity for a few more runs, but at 5 for 100, you're probably going to sign up for, over 280.
Alzari Joseph, the best of the bowlers, 4 for 61. Search continues for survivors after a ferry sank off Indonesia. 31 people have been rescued, but there are fears for 29 others so far. It's believed 6 bodies have been recovered. Well, the boss of Qantas, Vanessa Hudson, has spoken regarding the recent cyber attack on the airline's call centres, telling Nine she understands customers' frustrations.
I know this data breach is a serious concern. I know the stress that it has created for many millions of customers that we've had. And so right up front, I want to say we take this seriously.
Names, birthdates, phone numbers, frequent flyer numbers and email addresses have been accessed. And Donald Trump has landed his first big legislative win in this presidential term. A bill he's labelled a big and beautiful bill has passed by a vote of 218 to 214. The US president will now sign the tax cuts into law. sen.com.au sport is coming up next. Alex de Minaur through to the third round of Wimbledon after a 4-set win over 115-ranked Frenchman Arthur Cazot. But the Demon says he's just focusing on the little small victories for now.
I'm able to reset mentally after dropping the first set, being able to come back in the second, put that behind and come back to life basically.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
And just to wrap up, a bag of tips for today. So head to thetrots.com.au for expert harness racing tips and in-depth analysis for all major Victorian meetings. Race 4, number 7, Imperial Command for Darren Carroll. Race 8, number 8, Faithful. They're at Melton tonight. And Mac to Skew is race 8, number 1. The tip there at Mildura for Darren Carroll. So race 8, number 1. And Amanda Rando, Harness Racing New South Wales, the home of the Carnival of Cups, where Australian music royalty meets quality harness racing action. At Wagga, race 6, number 4, Perfect Stranger. Race 7, number 4, Okanui Beach. And race 8, number 9, Boom. So that's at Wagga today for Amanda Rando. And at Newcastle, race 3, number 9, Dance with Karma. And race 5, number 2, Master Catch. So race 3, number 9, race 5, number 2. And that is Bag of Tips today, all thanks to Oz Equipment Rentals, Bet365, and of course our number 1 pub, the Ultima Hotel in the heart of the Mallee. It is 5 minutes past 10. Time now to preview the big race there tomorrow night in the sport of greyhound racing. It's worth $1 million. It's the Brisbane Cup. Paul Sebastiani joins us.
Morning, G. Hello, mate.
We've got a special guest, your great mate, who you dominate the lid fly back with every Monday night.
This could get dangerous, mate.
Yeah, the great man, Mitchie Abay. G'day, Mitchie boy.
Morning, boys. Good to be with you. What a day it is.
Yes. Now, it's a sad weekend for you because I remember following you strongly, and I reckon your favourite track in the sport of greyhound racing would be Albion Park, or close to anyway.
Yeah, if it's outside of Victoria, definitely. Albion Park's a track that I've had a pretty good relationship with, obviously doing the articles and then doing the form there in depth. But, yeah, I heard last meeting will be run on Sunday, and how fitting that we get to cover it on Sunday Greys. That'll be awesome.
How are you feeling?
I'll have a box of tissues ready.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. But yeah, I'm just hoping it's not underwater because I reckon the last 4 Albion Park meetings have been absolutely saturated. So a bit of sunshine would be nice.
So you've got the rising sun in the trots, you've got the Inter-Dominion heats, you've got a good meeting on the Sunshine Coast and the Gallops, but clearly the richest race in Queensland, Mitchie Bay, this weekend is the $1 million Queensland Cup.
Yeah, it's great racing, isn't it? And how good is the facilities? I know Paulie was lucky enough to go up there and check him out. I was
the Brisbane Cup, I should say.
To do so,
yeah.
But they always attract class, these races, and Brisbane Cup's always drawn Victorians and New South Wales that will go over and have a crack, and even some WA greyhounds of late. So I think it's a really good field assembled, and I found it somewhat tricky in pulling apart the form because there's a lot of speed in the race, and not only early speed, but good middle section speed as well.
Well, we interviewed Tommy Savalas there yesterday. Dacey's Rory. Remember this greyhound? And the Queenslanders always get disrespected a little bit when they qualify for that Queensland race. What do they call it? Is it the Flame? I think it's the Flame, isn't it?
Yeah, the Flame.
Yeah, so the Flame. And so Dacey, correct. Dacey's Rory won that race and then came to the Phoenix. And if he crossed, like he ran third still, if he crossed and Explicit didn't get the luck that he did, Explicit bowled at home the Phoenix last year, but I thought his run was full of merit. He's got a lead to win. Is he any chance to give Queensland a famous victory in the Brisbane Cup? Mitchie.
Yeah, he is in a sense. Like the map for him is good enough. He's got to beat the one out early, which is Blue Blend. The thing for Dacey's Rory, Tim Zoo's stepping at the moment. If Tim Zoo wasn't stepping, he'd have plenty of room to his outside to be able to cart into the race. The thing with Dacey's Rory, he's a very, very fast dog, but will he be weak late with a couple of really strong types in Blue Blend and Tim Zoo right on his hammer? I find that sometimes these fast dogs like Dacey's Rory can, with no pressure, can absolutely light them up. But when you're going to have dogs that can nip at your heels for a long, long way, will he be finding, will be wanting late?
Hey, Paulie Sebastiani, I know you're a big fan of Timmy Zoo. What do you make of his chances for the Victorians?
Oh, look, the time he ran, I mean, Mitch, you know, you and I are both big on times, but, I mean, he sparkled the clock, 29.22. That's one of the fastest times you'll see at Q2 Parklands. Whether or not he can replicate that in a race like this with far more depth. Mitch, and we do this often, that sometimes that early speed, and it's key in these races. Like the map is key. You've got speed in 1, 2, and 3. But when I saw Blue Blend draw the inside, drew box 8 last start and had room to manoeuvre, whereas this time you've got Dacey's Rory the outside, you've got Tim Zhu, as you mentioned, Mitch, who is stepping. I don't like the outside box back to the inside box. I think it might be a tricky scenario for Blue Blend. Mitch, the Jeffrey Britton dog, lads, Mapunga Reward, I think might just let the speed go and they might all just tear each other up in front. And if Mapunga Reward can just pinch runs up on the run, I thought 950 was an enormous price, Mitch. I don't know about you, but I expected to see a little bit shorter. I expected maybe more towards that $5.50, $6 mark. I was surprised to see $9 on offer.
Yeah, look, he's a dog that's going to rely on luck, and we talk about this all the time. That luck, yes, like, are you going to be? Where's he going to be sitting? Probably going to be 5th or 6th,
Correct.
potentially. I don't see him in the first 4 early, and the speed really is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look, Gambella can step every now and then, but yeah, look, he's a fast dog. I think he was really well drawn last week. I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, but yes, he's still gone 29.43. My thing is that if Tim Zhu or someone else gets to the front, if Blue Blend leads, there's just no running. There's no running them down. So I think that's why you'll get that price. And look, he's probably a really good place play, to be honest. You can try and pick him off late.
So who are you tipping in this race there? We'll start with you, Mitchie, in the Brisbane Cup.
Yeah, I'm with Tim Zhu. I think he maps really well. Look, I think the 1 and the 2 can put some heat on each other early, and he can be just too strong late. But I think, honestly, G, if you're going to have a saver in the race and Blue Blend drifts, I think he's the only danger to beat Tim Zhu. So it's 2 to beat 1 for me.
A lot of our listeners, they own, not a lot of our listeners, some of our listeners, they've got a share in Tim Zhu, and they get stuck into me every time I disrespect that greyhound. And I don't disrespect him. I love him. And he has become the people's dog, Timmy Zhu, and he's become one of the most remarkable athletes that I've come across, because once upon a time, remember that match race? We had that debate when we were on racing.com, Mitchie, and he was up against the kennel mate, Timmy Zhu, and we declared him like we did with who did we declare that day?
It was Field Day, wasn't it? That's right. Yes.
And we declared him.
I declared Field Day.
Yeah. And you were wrong. And I was right. And Jason Thompson, he thought Field Day would win as well. Field Day was the roughie, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, $2.60. He got out to $2.60, and I said that was money for Jam. And Tim Zhu, I've probably never seen him step so well in a while. And
didn't Tim Zhu nail him right on the line there at the Meadows?
He kicked back like Northerly. I was in more trouble than the early settlers, and then he found a way, Timmy Zhu.
It was absolute toast.
And we stuck it up, Mitchie Abayer and Jason Thompson that day.
He's in a bit of form this morning, Mitch. He's been digging into the heels, and he's been needling a lot of our punters this morning. Shano's copped it. Now you've copped it.
No, yeah, Mitchie's the greatest of all time. And like there was who was the goat that we put on? He calls himself.
Oh
the
yes,
goat.
the analyst. Mitchie, the form analyst off TikTok.
What about the other races? Mitchie? The Queensland Cup for the Stayers. Bet365's got equal favourites. Red Dirt Road 360. Ethanol Water's been a beauty at 360. Late Night News at 380. Lady Wilson 550. And then the reserve Zigzag Man is in the market at $7, yet to get a start. I don't think it's got a start. No, it hasn't. Who wins the Queensland Cup?
I think there's a little bit of value, but the red's one of those dogs that I tell you right now. You look at it, each run, and you're like, it'll win next start. Win next start. Late Night News, and then you go and get on it, and it gets beat. But it maps really well. The 2 pushes off the track early. I thought there was value there with the 5. I think it's Firethorn. It let him up last time out and went 41.33. So I think that's the value play in the race. Look. The 8 of the dailies is a class act, but it's a greyhound that really its running pattern is strange. It steps nice, then lacks mid-race, and then charges again late. So I don't know if you can do that in this sort of race where there is some good mid-race speed. So I'm happy to be with the 1 and the 5, Gareth. I think the 1 is the play, but I tell you what, I'm going to be holding my breath for a long, long way. But if you want something of value, I think the yellow can give you a sight.
What about the Jason Thompson Consolation? Smooth Plane $3, Poor Ford X 360. One of my favourites. She hasn't gained a start here yet. Lakeview Emily at 380, and then we've got Paul Petrov at 550 here. What do you make of this race, Mitchie?
Sorry, you're going to have to excuse the noise, G. My brother's just going past.
Say good day for us, brother.
Yeah, it's look, I'm with Smooth Plain. I think this greyhound's getting back to its best. It's a fast animal. Look, obviously had a fair spell there, but it takes a little while for fast dogs to get back to their peak when they're running against class. They didn't just bring the greyhound back against nothing. Brought him back against some real nice types.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to our friends at Bet365, Zachy Tunbridge. You give me a greyhound. We'll go through our next feature race as well. This is the Flying Zulu Consolation. We'll get a greyhound. I'll give a trot, and we'll get a boost there, like a multi for the trots and dogs. I don't know if they can do that, but that can be a famous giddy up trots dog multi.
We like a little.
Have you ever had that at the pub?
Impromptu,
Simon
It's
Miller
good.
from WA. We used to go to the pub in Subiaco most nights. Anyway, we'd sit there punting, and we always have, it was like a trots dog multi, and everyone had to take a turn. And if you had a bet, you had to have one trot, one dog. Anyway, great story, Gareth. Flying.
Isn't the trots dog multi? I was going to say, isn't the trots dog multi one of those that are restricted when it comes to the greyhounds or on the trots, and they just throw $1.10 pop in just to get them the bet on?
Hey, that's what Terry Layton does. No, I'm only joking. So who wins this? Good odds Cobber's been around longer than me these days. An Excavation at 270. Basically equal favourites with Bet365.
Yeah, I'm a good odds Cobber fan. I think the grey is in some really good touch at the moment. Excavation's found a bit of form again, and you can never discount, obviously, in the Thompson kennel, but I'm with good odds Cobber. I think just that early speed and it's just reliable. So get to the front, carve them out, and hopefully be too strong.
What's your best, Paulie Sebastiani?
I'm going to go with Mapunga Award in the final. I just thought $9.50 was a ridiculous price, and I actually like in the staying event race 7. Was favourite in the lead up to the race before the heats were run, but Lady Wilson, race 7, number 6, I think can be running on very, very late. So she's one to keep an eye on there. So those are my 2 plays this week. Get a bit of value, mate.
What's your best, Mitchy boy?
My best is Tim Zoo, mate. I think goes straight to the leader's back and runs them down.
All right, then. So we'll have Tim Zoo. Sorry, Paulie, you've probably got too much value. We'll go Tim Zoo.
They're not going to let me on.
No. No.
It's too much money.
No, well, you sounded like the goat. So, Mitchie Bay, you can have Tim Zoo, which you can have, and I'll have the Janitor and the Rising Sun and the Trots. That's $8. That's $8.96 for our trot dog multi there for Giddy Up. Anything else for us, lads, this weekend? At the Meadows or anything like that?
Pies 60 plus.
Really picked apart the form.
No.
I haven't really picked apart the form, to be honest. Gee, I've got a wedding today. I got my cousin's wedding in the city, so I'll be venturing in there, and I just thought I'd start the day with a nice cup of coffee sitting outside here at my place. So I'm putting the feet up for the weekend, to be honest.
So you should. Good night of greyhound racing at Sandown last night.
Yeah, really good night of racing, and it was good to see. We covered a bit of it. We didn't get to cover all of it based on the fact that we were doing the show. We covered mainly New South Wales and Queensland, but we got to see some of the racing. Field Day was unlucky off box 8. Obviously, Bagman was scratched. Good to see Kanya All Class back to somewhere near his best. Obviously, time-wise wasn't really there, but sometimes confidence is the biggest thing in getting a win. So, and good. Well done to my mate as well, Dave Plumridge. He trained Peacock for us, and he had a winner with poor Alexis winning a city race. So, nice little 6K goes into the kitty there for him.
So Fernando Duke took out the feature, leading all of the way without a trace with something beat, but that was the McKenna Memorial final at Group 2 level.
Next start, get on.
Yeah, he's a tease, that greyhound sometimes, but it was a big effort. Hey, good on you, boys. Loved it, Mitchie. You say
thank you.
Looks like it's a beautiful day wherever you are, Mitchie. Of course, you can watch us. We're streaming.
I'm at home, mate. I'm at home. I actually wanted to.
Yeah.
I want to just show you, G. Where's me dog? Paulie's a big fan.
Oh,
of him.
big Moosey.
Moosey.
Have a look at Moose. Mate, he is the best looking dog you'll ever see, mate. Have a look at him. A border collie.
Hey, Moose.
Mate, he's gorgeous. Have a look at this.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Moosey. Hey, Moosey. Get up, Moosey.
He's waiting for the ball.
Hey.
He's waiting for the ball. You look at him.
Have a look
If you're
at him.
listening to us on the radio, I'm whistling at a dog.
Mate, it's fantastic. Hey, this is what the live stream's all about
Yeah,
with
it is.
Bet365, mate. They'll be loving this content.
I'm thinking this is going to be like one of the superstars, like a greyhound. He wouldn't be able to. He'd get lapped by the greyhounds, that little fella.
No, he's a very smart animal, and he's loves chasing the ball around. So I reckon I might be able to get him to do a few laps of sand down.
Can you chuck him in the Carlton midfield, Mitch, mate? We've got a few that are struggling there at the moment.
Yeah. Has he got a heart? Anyway.
You got a few that run away. You got a few that run away from the ball. So you might get a few that chase it.
Good on you, Mitchy boy. Thanks for that, brother. We appreciate your work and coming on. Giddy up as always,
Anytime,
mate.
guys. Have a lovely day.
Keep dominating. That was a bit of fun. There's Mitchy Abaya. Lincoln Allen's just waiting. Did you see him on the?
I did see him. He's another rooster in the studios today. What was the hardest tip you had for
the janitor in the Rising Sun?
You use the M word, which
to lead all the way. I'm pretty confident.
All right, I like the Jenny horse, the one that you were tipping a couple of
Champagne
weeks
Jenny.
ago. Yeah, she'll go close.
She broke my heart, Jenny.
No.
Like Forrest Gump.
She'll go close this weekend, mate. Don't you worry.
We'll take a break. We're going to come back. Jason's joining us. He won the $100 staking plan competition last week. Send in your staking plans. I'll read them out, and we'll wrap up the show that way on this Friday.
Join the conversation. Text us on 0499 736 736. Live across Australia on SENTrack. Giddy up with Gareth Hall.
Trying to stay strong, but now that you're gone, I'm not the same girl that you first met.
Welcome back to Giddy Up with Gareth Hall. Great to have your company, all thanks to Bet365. Don't forget, if you like your Quinellas, exactas, trifectas, first fours and quaddies, this Saturday with Bet365, you'll be paid out at the highest national tote for all exotics at Flemington, Rose Hill, Sunshine Coast, Gawler and Pinjarra. That's 45 races. Because it's never ordinary at Bet365, selected meetings and eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Garrett, just tuning in. Any update on Mark Duplessis after that incident at Ipswich yesterday? It was horrible to witness. Trackside thoughts are with all involved. That's from Trent. It was, Miles Fitzner told me about it. I didn't get to see it. I was doing something else. I was missing the Ipswich races, or that race anyway. And it was a sickening fall. And those jockeys were lucky to walk away with some of the injuries that they received. So Mark Duplessis and Nikita Berriman were transported to the Ipswich hospital. Mark was the one that got injured the most. He had concussion and a rib injury, and Nikita was complaining of neck pain. Now, I haven't got an update since then, but I think they were very, very lucky to walk away with the injuries that they had. You didn't want to see that. It was a sickening race fall, but yeah, those jockeys that were in that fall were lucky. So, including Tiffany Brooker and Emily Lang. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll update you throughout the afternoon here on SENTrack as soon as we know a little bit more. Now, we're having a $100 staking plan competition once again, and Justin from Watsonia had a $6 multi last week. Autumn Boy the place, Jake from Watsonia. Sorry, Jakey boy. Autumn Boy the place, the Black Cloud the place, Alamaz the place, and Opportunistic the place. Now, three of them won, and the Black Cloud should have nearly won, who was second. Jake, well done, mate. That's a sensational tipping.
Thank you very much, mate.
What are you doing for us this week? We'll get $100. I'll put that on for you. What's the plan? I've got my pen ready to go.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
yes.
We're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to, like you said last week, pick the eyes out of each card.
Yep.
Find the best place chance and go with that.
You're a bit like Miles Fitzner. 5 meetings everywhere around the country. Mate. You don't discriminate, brother. I love it.
Don't say that.
He's the magic man, Jakey boy. What are you doing? So where do we start with your place multi?
All right, we're going to start at race 8 at Flemington.
Yep.
We'll be having O2 Good to place.
Yes.
Then we will head to Rose Hill in race 10.
Yep.
And we will be having Kerguelen to place.
Yes.
We'll then fly up to Sunny Coast and have race 7 Warnie to place.
Yes.
And the best bet of the day, I should have put it in for a win. We're going to go to Pinjarra.
Yep.
Race 7, Repossession.
Repossession there for the Ganjemmies. Hey, I love it, mate. I'll put that on with Bet365 and good luck. We've got all the other, I didn't get a chance to read them all out, but we've got all the other staking plans, and whoever wins next week can come on like Jake, and we'll put the $100 all up on there this week's multi. Good on you, Jake. Well done, brother. Keep dominating.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
That's Giddy Up. Thanks to Bet365.
Powered by Signet, making SEN News this hour. Donald Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill has passed US Congress 218 votes to 214. Only 2 Republicans voted against the controversial legislation. The boss of Qantas, Vanessa Hudson, has spoken regarding